The ATP Tour for 2023 is coming to an end. We're currently in China before the last events of the year, and this is my preview of ATP Beijing. Let's get straight into it, and as Jose says, Beijing returns to the ATP calendar with one of the draws of the year. It is completely stacked. We have pretty much all of the best players. Of course, no Novak Djokovic. He will be returning for Paris and then, of course, the ATP finals. But aside from Djokovic, we have a lot of big hitting players. And of course, Daniil Medvedev and Carlos Alcaraz, who are trying to hunt Djokovic down for that year-end #1 status. Before I go into some of the first round matches, I want to start with the tournament itself. So it is an outdoor hard court. It was last played in 2019, and we've got Nishikori Picks here on Twitter, who does a lot of analysis on tennis, sort of betting matches and looking at it from the betting perspective. And he is claiming that this event really benefits the big servers. That's because the courts are very quick. So last time in 2019, first serve points won was 72.8%. So I think that is, well, it must be up there with one of the records. That is pretty crazy. The altitude, as we know, is 44 meters above sea level. The weather's expected to be 25 degrees Celsius. And past finalists, Team Tsitsipas 2019, Basilashvili beat Del Potro in 2018, Nadal beat Kyrgios in 2017, Murray beat Dimitrov in 2016, and Djokovic defeated Nadal 2015. And no surprise, Djokovic has lifted the trophy 6 times. However, he's not going to be there this year. And we've got some statements here. So Zverev in 2019 said he likes the conditions. It's quicker and it fits me very well. Zverev, just off the back of winning an event, he's playing quite well right now. And he liked the conditions back then. I think he's, of course, going to like them just as much now. And he could be a real contender to win this event. We've got Pliskova also saying she liked the conditions. Dimitrov said the courts are pretty fast, although slower at night. And the reason that's significant is because if you do get a match which kicks off a little bit later, maybe it will benefit some of the players who aren't so reliant on their serving. So let's go back to this one. And this is some of the first round matches. I mean, they are crazy. Khachanov, Musetti, Runa, Felix, Sinner, Evans, Zverev, Schwartzman, Tsitsipas, Jarry. Again, Tsitsipas won't be too pleased. Norrie, Rublev, Dimonor, Murray. I feel like we've seen that match as well, and Dimonor does very well against Murray. And Medvedev, Paul. What a tricky first round match for Daniil Medvedev. Just initially, I've had a look at the draw. Let's go down to Daniil Medvedev first. He, for me, has the toughest draw. I think it's really, really tough. Paul first round. Second round, potentially Dimonor, who has proven that he can play very well against Daniil Medvedev. I believe he beat him the last time, maybe the last two. But correct me if I'm wrong. Sonego, who can be quite dangerous this time of year. I know he beat Djokovic a few years back around this period. Rublev, who's in form. Jarry, who I actually fancy to beat Tsitsipas. We've got some qualifiers here. On the top, so this is the section for Alcaraz. You've got Khachanov, who's not played much recently. Musetti, I think he's playing well, but there's a winnable one. Rude, don't fancy him too much at the moment, especially in these conditions. But you never know with him. He could easily turn up and make it difficult, but not for Alcaraz. And really, the big name I'd have to say is Jannik Sinner. So Jannik Sinner just about makes this one. Zverev is on the section of Daniil Medvedev. So I would assess this and say Medvedev has a tougher draw than Alcaraz. However, Alcaraz has Jannik Sinner. And Jannik Sinner, on paper, probably is the third best player. But I think you can really make a case for Zverev right now. So that's why I think them two are neck and neck. And on a personal preference, I would put Zverev just in front of Jannik Sinner. So yeah, that backs up my theory. Medvedev, extremely tough draw. Can he go and win this event? Of course he can. Will he? I don't think he will. I'll get into my predictions towards the end. Let's go to some of the qualifiers, because I saw some qualifiers are playing against each other, and they're very, very good. I mean, we've got Alnaudi, the one I really want to highlight there. Vukic, who's having a pretty good year, beating a lot of players. Lloyd Harris, he can turn up. Altmaier as well. Max Purcell is the number 1 seeded player, and I think he's another one I'll be surprised if he doesn't qualify. But yeah, they're the ones I want to highlight on the qualifying. Back to the draw. My prediction is this. I think Alcaraz will be okay until the Jannik Sinner match. I believe he will be playing Jannik Sinner. I don't think Rune is necessarily ready, his body. I don't think Felix has had a very poor year. Dimitrov could surprise either of these two, and I fancy him to potentially beat them. But I reckon we will get the Sinner-Alcaraz semi-final on the top. On the bottom, I think it's so tough. I really do. And if I'm honest, I favour Zverev over Daniil Medvedev. I don't think Daniil Medvedev, he may not even get to that semi-final. I think it's a really tough one. It all depends on how he fares against Alex de Minaur or Murray. I think de Minaur maybe wins, and I think de Minaur could beat Daniil Medvedev. That is my crazy pick. But saying all of that, I think Jarry will beat Tsitsipas. I think Rublev will be okay until a level. But I think he will find himself unstuck against Sasha Zverev. And I think he's going to be the person who advances to the final on the bottom. And on the top, I reckon Alcaraz will beat Jannik Sinner. So we'll have a final of Alcaraz versus Zverev. And I'm going for the Spaniard, Carlos Alcaraz, to win that one. Get some revenge on Zverev. But yeah, that is my preview. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. There we go. Thank you, everyone. Make sure if you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and let me know. Do you agree with me? Do you hate me? Do you disagree? I want to hear all of your comments, and I'll read through them all. Much love, and see you soon.